Welcome to Whippoorwill Holler. I'm Miss Lori and this is Mr. Brown. We live in the hills of Arkansas. We love the Lord. We love to cook. And we love to eat. We love to garden. We live a sustainable life. And every once in a while, we like to dance. Hi guys, and welcome back to Whippoorwill Holler Kitchen. I'm so glad to be back with y'all. It seems like it's getting just a little bit farther in between each video, but you know, it's just life, and we all had to live it. But before we start this video, I just will say, I want to thank everybody from the bottom of our hearts, the kindness that y'all show us, and my subscribers are they're not just our subscribers, they're our family and our friends. Y'all have done so much for us, encouraged us, and you pray with us, and you love us, and I don't know how anybody could be any more blessed, and we appreciate y'all. For the gifts, for the cards, for the letters, it means a lot to us. You know, Danny and I have been together about 43 years. I was just a little girl. I was about 13 years old when I met Danny. And he's just a couple years older than me, not much. But first time I seen him, and some of y'all heard this story before, I went to the river. My grandma took me. Sit on the riverbank where a lot of the people would go and swim, the young kids and stuff. And I just sat there on that riverbank, and I kept seeing this boy jumping out of this. The tree was just so tall, and he'd jump out of that thing and hit that water, and he'd swim, he'd get out, he'd kind of look at me, and he'd crawl up that tree again, and he'd jump out of that big old tree again. Then he'd do it over and over, and I just kept watching him. Finally he come over and talked to me. Well, we really didn't think we'd see each other ever again. He knew my grandma, he knew my family. But then August come around and school started, and we seen each other. So the rest is history there. So we've been together since I was a little girl, and I just grew up with Mr. Brown, and Mr. Brown and I are just we're just like, you know, one person. We think alike. We can finish each other's sentences. We're just I don't know what you say, but I tell you, I don't know that we can be apart very long, that's for sure. Today I'm going to make my sweetheart some little sweets. Now, he's not like real big on candy and stuff. Oh, he'll eat a bite or two if you make something homemade. But I wanted to do something for y'all for Valentine's. And you could do this for your kids, your grandkids. Let them even get involved and make them, because they're so easy, and share them with their friends and stuff. But, you know, Valentine's was always meant for sweethearts. You know, your older people, sweethearts. But somehow, through the years, it got around to being about, like everything else, about kids and spending money and buying junk for them. But even at that, I still have always made sure that my kids and grandkids got something special for Valentine's, because they were my little sweethearts. But Mr. Brown's my sweetheart, and we're just going to make some simple, my version of some white chocolate, strawberry covered cake truffles. You can call them cake pops if they're on a stick, or cake balls. I call them truffles. I think that sounds better. And all you're going to need is a strawberry cake mix. Now, that's what's so good about this recipe. You can use any flavor cake mix. And I have ate so many different kinds, and they are so good. I've not ate a bad one yet. And really and truly, my favorite one is lemon, made with lemon cake. I'm going to use a strawberry cake mix. And I've got a can of white frosting here. I've got a 1/3 cup of oil. I got 1 1/4 cups of water, and I got 3 eggs. Now this is not coming. This comes after the cake is baked. mix. So this is what you'll need right now. And then my oven's sitting at 350. I've got my dish here. You can use a 9 by 13. If you have one just a little bit bigger, it'll work too. Now the other thing that I've got is and you can use anything that you like to use as far as when you like to, whatever chocolate you like to use to cover your candies or your fruits or whatever you're using. But my favorite is Ghirardelli, your white, this is your vanilla melting wafers. I like these. I just eat them. Sometimes you'll catch me opening a bag up when I don't need to and just eat them. And then I found these at Walmart. These are Bake Believe dark chocolate, no sugar added, 55% cocoa. And I'm going to do a few of those for me. Mr. Brown don't care for dark chocolate, but I do. And it says no sugar, so you know, I think it's really with the cake truffle, I think it's going to be good. I'm not going to do a whole lot of them, but I'm going to do a few of them just for me. So that's our ingredients. That's how simple it is. So we're just going to start out. My oven's at 350. I'm so glad that I'm back with y'all. You know, sometimes as the days go by and we're just working so hard and life is going on, I start feeling guilty. And I'm like, I got to be with my people. I got to do something here. If I just have to let everything else go, we got to do something here. I've got to get back with my people. My YouTube friends and family. So we're just going to take a cake mix and we're going to mix it up with these ingredients. Like I said, this is strawberry. In fact, this is a strawberry supreme. And I'll tell you another one that I like. It's an orange supreme. And then the lemon supreme. They're so good. Love those cake mixes. It does smell so good. So you got your strawberry cake mix, and I'm putting a 1/3 cup of oil in it. I've got 3 eggs. And I've got 1 1/4 cups of water, and I got my cup kind of full here. And we're just going to mix this up. And you know, if you've got a little bit of strawberry flavoring, just to give your cake just a little more strawberry flavor, you can put that in there. But I can tell you right now, I can smell the strawberry flavoring in it already. It smells wonderful. It's even got just little pieces of dried, I'm going to say it's freeze-dried strawberry pieces in it. So, we got that mixed up about that fast. I like to, if any way possible, especially my box cake mixes, I just do them by hand. It don't take very long, and you don't have to clean that big old mixer when you're done. Because the one thing about cakes, you don't want to overmix them. So we're just going to pour our cake mix in here now. And I sprayed my pan. I'm going to put this in the oven, let it cook. Then when we get it out of the oven, I'm going to let it cool before we add our next ingredient to it. There's just one more ingredient before we start making our truffles or your cake balls or whatever you want to call them. And they're just so good. My daughter-in-law, one of my daughter-in-laws makes the Oreo cake balls, and they're our favorite. You can't just eat one either. So we're going to put this in the oven and let it bake, and then we'll be back when it's done. Okay, our cake got done. And it's cooled off pretty good. So all you want to do now is just take your cake and just crumble it up. Now your cake has a moist, soft texture. And you see how even without the frosting it already kind of sticks together. But the 2 tablespoons of frosting, it's going to give it a little sweeter taste, and it's going to help bind your truffles. Now some people use cream cheese instead of the vanilla or white frosting, and I do that with different cake flavors, especially the Oreo balls. They're done with cream cheese. So either way, you can do it with cream cheese or you can do it with the frosting. And the thing of it is too, you can use any flavor cake mix and any flavor frosting. If you're a real chocolate lover like I am, you could do a chocolate cake, a fudge cake, maybe a devil's food cake, and put you 2 tablespoons of chocolate frosting. Talk about some good. And then dip it in your white chocolate. You talk about some good cake balls, truffles. That would be really good. The lemon cake balls, which are one of my favorites, you do them with your lemon cake mix, and you can do it with cream cheese, or you can do it with 2 tablespoons of your lemon frosting. You talk about good and dipped in white chocolate. So good. So that's what I'm saying. Sky's the limit. Like during Thanksgiving, around fall, you could do a spice cake. And put your vanilla frosting in there. And dip it in white or chocolate or whatever. And it'd be really good. Okay. We got that crumbled up pretty good. So what you're going to do now, I forgot my tablespoon over here. I'm going to take 2 good. You know how I am about my, people say, what does that mean when you say 1 good tablespoon? That means just a good heaping, overflowing tablespoon. And if you see that it's still a little dry, you can put more. So you can mix this by hand, you can do it with a spoon, but you just want to keep mixing until all this comes together. And to me, it's easier to do it by hand. Just get in there and get with it. My hands are clean. So I'm going to get this mixed up and we'll be right back. Yeah, all I do is just take me a little, this depends on what size truffles you want to make. And I just take what size I want and I just kind of squeeze that together like that to get it stick together. Then you kind of roll it in your hand and just make whatever size little truffles, cake balls you want to make. Bite size, smaller, bigger, whichever. Once I get all these done, this is going to make anywhere from 30, probably 35 at this size. And once I get these done, I'm going to put these in the refrigerator for about an hour and let them chill really good before we dip them in the chocolate. Our strawberry cake balls have been chilling for about an hour. So now I've got some of them lined up here. We're going to start dipping them in the white chocolate. And I just took my melting wafers and I would put the microwave on about 30 seconds and stir it, and 30 more seconds and stir it, because you sure don't want to scorch your chocolate. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to stab it like that, and you can dip it like this, or you can take your chocolate and just kind of roll it over your cake wall, just like that. Whatever's easiest for you. I didn't get that one covered very good. I'm just going to put mine in there just like that. Bring it out. This is the way that I do my peanut butter balls too, and a lot of my different candies that I have not done videos on yet, because it just seems like I never have the time. But I tell you, I'm going to start doing them candy recipes and not even worry if it's even close to Christmas time or not. I'm just going to do them. So I wanted to show you the few that I've got done, and I've done just a few right now of the dark chocolate, and I had some of these little pink sprinkles, so I use some of those now. Me and Mr. Brown can't really eat sprinkles. They kind of get in between our teeth, but I wanted to show y'all just different ways you can decorate them, or the kids can decorate them. And I always keep little pouches like this in my pantry, and this is for when I've got grandkids over, or at Christmas time or holidays, anything, and they're wanting to decorate cookies or whatever. These things are really handy to have. And you could just decorate them any way you want to, or just leave them plain. You can put nuts on them. But you need to do that, put the sprinkles on right as pretty close as you dip them in your chocolate, because your chocolate still needs to be, before it sets up, or your sprinkles won't stay on them. So like I said, you can just do whatever you want to with them. So there's your easy cake pops. Easy, easy. There's the letter B for brown. There's my dark chocolate ones. Mr. Brown will probably eat one of these that don't have sprinkles on it. Grandkids eat these. Well, I'm not the best decorator, but they taste good, and they're paw approved. Happy Valentine's to my sweetheart.